Finishing strong, Dawn. Finishing strong. You've got this, Duck.
Welcome to week 2 of my Abingdon Marathon training. So I'm Dawn and I'm looking to run sub 3:30 at the Abingdon Marathon in the female 60 to 64 category. I'm not going to lie, week 2 training has been a bit of a challenge, but I'm going to give myself a 7 out of 10. So I'm going to take you through each day's training and I'm going to answer this week's question.
Which is, Dawn, how have you managed to stick to your marathon plan whilst running in such extreme heat?
So my week started with a nice recovery run on Monday, and then on Tuesday I had a slightly quicker run with some strides. And that took us on to Wednesday, my midweek long run that I did with Suzanne and John. So this was 10 miles. Now I used to do my midweek long runs at around about 15 miles, but due to it being after work and the time it takes me now to cover the distance, I've capped it at 10 during the working week. However, I may increase this, or I possibly will increase it, to between 12 and 15 over the holidays.
Is he recording?
Yes, I'm recording, Suzanne. Yeah, last week we did the same 10-mile route with Suzanne. This week was a little slower for Dawn, but we still decided we're going to try and push for the final 2 miles and try and get somewhere close to zone 3 or marathon effort.
It will make us stronger. Okay, coach, could you stop shouting at us? We are running, coach.
As you can see, there's never a dull moment with Suzanne. She really helps those miles to go by quickly.
Yeah, Suzanne's training for an autumn marathon, the New York Marathon, running in the Abbott Marathon Masters Majors.
Bully, 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 bully. He will not make us stronger.
Yes, indeed, there's a sense of humour going on there. And just as we were about to round into the final 2 quicker miles, we bumped into another club mate, Rachel, who actually ran for England Masters last year at the 10k in Birmingham alongside Dawn. And Rachel, Suzanne and myself helped push Dawn to, I think, a 7:50 and a 7:45 in the final 2 miles.
In this base phase, we don't really need to be building big marathon miles at the moment. Just a couple of miles here and there is enough until later in the programme.
Finishing strong, Dawn. Finishing strong. You've got this, Duck. Aye, aye, aye. Come on.
Despite the heat and post-work tiredness, I was really pleased to nail my 10.
10 miles. That's too fast, thanks to these 2 coaches.
And then on to Thursday, and another scorching day. On this day we decided to go for a post-work run around the beautiful Moor Hall Reservoir. So I was supposed to do 5 miles, well that was what was on my plan, but because it was so hot we decided to choose a different route, one that would give us some shade and allow us to be able to cool the pace down and just enjoy putting in a few miles. And that's one of the things to think about when you're running on a very hot day. Try to find a shady route, something with tree cover to protect you from the sun. Another thing to think about is maybe just getting off road a little bit, then you don't have to focus on pace, it's just enjoying putting some miles in on a different terrain. Another thing to think about is to wear clothes that actually make you feel cool. You can see I'm wearing a crop top, so that's an option for ladies, or a nice light vest, or even just a technical top that allows your sweat to evaporate. Another very important point when you're running and it's extremely hot is to make sure you're hydrated. Now I made sure that I was well hydrated before this run, and I had some drink in the car ready to have when I got back. Although you could actually take a drink with you if that is what you want to do. I mean, I was only doing 3 miles and I thought I'd be okay waiting until I got back to the car.
Talking of water, this reservoir was built between 1913 and 1929 to provide fresh water for the residents of the city of Sheffield.
So there's John's History Corner. Now back to the run. So yes, don't be frightened to actually cut your run short. You don't have to do the exact distance that's on your plan. If it's very hot, just do what feels right for you on that day. Running next to water is something I really enjoy. In fact, I'd say it's my happy place. I love running beside any kind of water, whether the sea, reservoir, river, whatever. Do you have a happy place that you like to run?
For me, it's anywhere where there is plenty to see, and here we have a water valve tower from when the reservoir was built. So yes, as a person who, as I mentioned last episode, is writing Dawn's plan, I'm absolutely fine with her going with how she feels when the weather has been extremely hot. We're now at Thursday and we've pretty much hit everyone we've wanted, including that important Wednesday run.
That was hot.
What the pace?
Oh, the pace was slow, but the conditions scorch you.
So it's Thursday and we've just done a 3-mile recovery run and it's Scorchio. So the aim of today wasn't to push the pace. Pace didn't really matter, as I said. Recovery run in lovely surroundings and finding as much shade as we could over the far end in the trees. So yeah, lovely run in this lovely place.
And I bet you didn't know that if we'd have been standing here 100 years ago, this would have been a light railway for the importation of stone and other materials to build these dams and reservoirs. If only we're about to make a video about that railway and the building of these dams and reservoirs. And if you want to see that, subscribe to our other channel, which I'll put the link up to here.
It was another really hot day on Friday. I had booked a body dynamic session with my friend Joe, who does massage and injury prevention as well as recovery from injury. But today I was going to do 5 miles before going over to see Joe, and I did this enjoying it on the Transpennine Trail.
As you can see, we have a mixture of open parts and shade there. Dawn just coming through that lovely bridge, which was built in 1845. Wonderful construction on here. So we were running up for 2.5 miles, and lo and behold, who should we see coming down in another direction but said friend Joe, who Dawn was due to see later in the day for her sports consultation and treatment.
Yes, and another thing you can do to counter the heat of the day is to get out really early before the sun has chance to warm it all up and make us very hot and sweaty.
So seeing Joe made us push the pace a little on the final 2 miles, and we came out with...
So that was 5 miles, Scorchio this morning. So in my mind, I had to run around 8:50 pace. So an average pace of 8:48 was spot on. Friday's my day off work, so I did a double. Yes, the afternoon run was a lot slower than my morning run. So on Saturday we went over to do Hull Parkrun, which is one of the fastest parkruns in the country, and initially we were going to run it fast, or give it a go and see what we could do, time trial it. But when we got there, neither John or I were feeling up for it. It was end of term and we're feeling a bit sluggish, and the forecast was supposed to be really boiling again on that day, but it actually wasn't that hot. It was humid. So anyhow, John, being the brilliant coach he is, he decided that we wouldn't do it at a fast pace. We would just do it together, enjoy the scenery, enjoy this beautiful course, flat, scenic, lovely, and film it. And that we did. So if you've not seen that video, then go and have a check out of that at the do's and don'ts of parkrun. And I ran around my current marathon effort.
So yes, important to adapt to conditions on the day, both externally and internally, and a thoroughly enjoyable visit to Hull Parkrun as always, and stay behind in the cafe where Dawn had those 2 tea cakes.
Guess what? Sunday was another hot day.
Sunday morning, the long run.
Yes, another 16 miles on the card this week, but it was just John and myself on this occasion. Due to it being another hot day, we decided to stick to the flat Transpennine Trail, which is local to us, and has plenty of shade along the route.
For this run, we decided to run a straight 6 miles out up the trail all the way to Dunford Bridge and 6 miles back. That would do for my long run, and then Dawn would carry on and complete the extra 4 miles to make up her 16. Now it happens to be 5.7 miles to the top of the trail from our house, so we do this extra little bit up the street where there's some old railway cottages.
Important, keep the pace slow, keep the heart rate low.
I'm a poet, and I know it. I hope I don't blow it. Who sang that? Take a wild guess in the comments below.
This route provides us with plenty of beautiful scenery and it's a really easy running surface.
Just past 8 miles at this point, going by an old railway station. I'm sure we'll make a video about that for our other channel as we head back down and I do the final 5 miles before jumping in the car and then going down to collect Dawn a little bit further down the trail.
One of the things I normally try to do when I'm running this route is to pick the pace up when I'm running in the last few miles. However, because it was so hot today, I decided against that. It was more important to get the miles in and think about the pace later. It didn't really matter how slow I was running, I just wanted to complete the run.
Yeah, lots of people get drawn into stressing about must run X pace, must run X effort. Job one, get the volume in and then worry about anything else afterwards. That's the icing on the cake.
It's hot.
Not that icing isn't important to a cake, it makes it very attractive and tops it off, but if you've got no cake, you've got nothing to put the icing on.
So come the day, I'm hoping my marathon pace is going to be sub 8 minute miling, but today I was happy to run 2 minutes per mile slower than that.
Celebrations for me completing a 2-hour run unscathed, and here comes Dawn completing the final part of her long run.
Then to complete my 60-mile week, I jumped on the treadmill later in the day and did a nice easy run.
Coaching tip, don't jump on the treadmill, step onto it and then start it.
Yes, so that was my week's training. So if you'd like to see how I get on next week, then please subscribe to the channel and follow me on my journey towards Abingdon. And if you've liked this video, please give us a thumbs up.
Until next time, keep on keeping on.
Keep on keeping on.